Many years ago, I started building CNC machines, and I've done a handful of videos on these over the years. They've been pretty popular as far as my channel goes, and I never really got around to doing more because I just ended up filming snippets of things that were happening as I was doing it, and I had these plans to show a step-by-step build process, but the build kept changing and you can't find the time to get a camera on yourself while you're actually doing the work. So what I did is I went online and I bought myself one of these cheap $200 CNC kits. It happens to be Mini 3018, and so the box is sitting right there. And what I plan on doing here is opening this thing up and seeing how it works, what the different linear motion is on it, NEMA 17 motor, so we know that. And then take a look at the software that comes with it, which is Gerbil, and these little boards that are you might be familiar with if you've seen the control boards for the 3D printers. And so that's what this is. So what I am going to do is we'll build the machine, we'll talk about all the different parts and pieces, tell you what you would do for the larger machine that you might want to build, where can you buy your extrusion from, what kind of a tool do you need to cut it, etc. And then we're going to rip out the Gerbil board and we're going to put on a more professional 3-axis, actually it's capable of more, control board with the typical driver boxes that you'd find on a more professional machine, and go through the configuration of all that. And so then the end product of this is going to be, it's a small machine, maybe about this big, so it's not going to do anything huge for you. But if it can work like a professional machine and use the G code that you generate from Fusion 360, then you can have a device that will allow you to practice, and you could do it in the comfort of, say, your living room without making too much of a mess, especially if you use some of the different types of media like machinable wax or maybe some light foam and even some wood, right? These are not going to cut steel for certain. I really doubt you're going to be able to do aluminum with the spindle and the torque of the thing. So that's what we're going to do here. It's not going to be done today. Today is just going to be the unboxing of this thing and take a look at what it comes with, maybe what kind of tools you're going to need in order to be able to build this. I'm hoping that there's some kind of small little toolkit, and it's probably not much more than a couple different hex wrenches, right? So we'll see how that goes. And then successive videos will be the upgrading, modification, configuration, and along the way conversation on where you buy all these extra parts from. Okay, so let's get started. Well, here is the box. It's probably a little bit smaller than I expected, probably about half the size of the 3D printer boxes, but it does weigh a bit, so I'm pretty sure that there's probably a CNC in here and not a bunch of marshmallows. So what I'm going to do is we'll get the camera kind of repositioned here, cut this thing open, take everything out, do a quick inventory, and then decide what do we need to do next. Do we need to carefully lay everything out in some kind of order of operations, or do we just go ahead and start slamming the thing together? Because I kind of think that that's going to be more the case, right? I don't think it's going to be very difficult. We'll get this thing built, and then we can move on to more important things like using it, upgrading it, and learning how to use the CAD programs, okay? So, back in a minute. Little book. Put that down there for now. Oh, this is all right. So here's our Z-axis. We're going to put our spindle. Oh, look at the little spindle. So this is the upgraded spindle right here. The one that, depending upon, what year this is, you're watching this, they just came out with this upgrade. They had a cheap, it wasn't even hardly a spindle, it was probably still this motor, but it was connected with kind of a cheesier coupler than this and no collet. So you would just have to put the kind of engraver and small little end mill right on I don't know what it was. It was just, like I said, it was just like a shaft coupler. So the thing with shaft couplers compared to collets, so if you look at this, I guess we'll do a little tutorial thing right off the bat. Open this up. Inside of here, this is an ER11 collet. You got to kind of knock it to the side to get him to come out. Come out, buddy. Yeah, bang him on the table a little bit. So here is the collet. The end mill goes in here, and as this gets screwed into here, it compresses, and so then it evenly grabs a hold of the end mill itself, and then it should theoretically be centered. Whereas if you have something that's just like a shaft coupler, you put the shaft in here and then you tighten a set screw down on it, it's going to shove that shaft off to one side. And I know it's not much, but if it slides in, there's tolerance. And so that means when you shove it over, it's going to be that much off center, and you're going to have wobble to it. So I think they and everybody else figured out that this was a better way to go right off the bat. Okay, so collet set. And this should come with a set. So this one here looks to be about an 1/8 inch, something like that, but there'll be, is this it? Nope, cables. Oh, here's our little board. So there's a little board inside there. And the actual driver board inside here. Sorry, this is the control board. This is just a pendant. Yeah, this looks like it's just going to be a pendant for this. Okay, so I'll set that down there. You can't see anything, because there we go. How about that? And I don't want to pull everything out of here. Wires. Is this a B? What do we got here for a cable? Where's the other end? There it is. Oh, okay. So this is good. This is a good USB cable for this, but we need a USB-B for the Planet CNC upgrade. These should be hold downs, what it looks like. So they include a little clamping set here, so you can clamp your material down to the table, which is nice. Memory stick. Oh, right in front of my face. Here's your collet set. So this is, wow, that's pretty nice. So we've got 12-13 piece collet set here. Some zip ties, those are going to be handy. And some cheap end mills. These are probably, so here are, see if I can come around here and get this to focus. So these are going to be your roughly sort of kind of an end mill. You'll want to buy better ones of these. These here might just be engravers. So we'll open this up and take a look at one of them. There we go. Okay. Oh yeah. So those are just cheap little engravers, right? But there's plenty of them, so you can do whatever you need to. One of the nice things that you can do with this, that I'm expecting to be able to do once we get it upgraded to full 3 axes, you could take machinable wax, which will be kind of the medium to practice on. You can mill whatever you want out of it, but if you're thinking mold making, you mill out a negative, and these engravers are very nice to get high detail into that. Okay, and then power pack, and here's our steppers. So we're gonna have to do some little mods to these, but there's a little NEMA 17 stepper and various collars. Oh, good. So we do have a little bit of a toolkit. We've got some wrenches in here and anti-backlash nuts. So anti-backlash nuts are to keep, as you have a table on a screw that as it moves forward, when it moves forward and then it decides to come backwards, you'll have a little bit of play in it as the gear goes from pushing on one side right here to as it goes back the other direction. It takes a little bit of time to engage to the next tooth to push it backwards. So anyways, that's backlash. It's that little bit of delay as you go from going one direction to shifting and going back the other direction. The anti-backlash nuts take care of that, so you won't have any. Okay, so there's that. And then inside of here, this looks to be our table. Yeah, oh, so this is nice. It's a one-piece aluminum extrusion, so that's good. I'll throw it up there because that's not too big to do, a deal to look at. And then here are our black acrylic side pieces. So here, this will be the sides of our mill. It's not going to be very big. Cute. What a cute little machine. Let's get this out of here. Okay. These couple more aluminum extrusions, and then here is our lead screw. So this is, let me show you. So these are not threaded rods. So this is actually to a standard. The ones that we typically use on the bigger ones are an Acme 5-start, 10 teeth per inch. You know, we'll talk about that later. Lead screw. Now there's another thing called a ball screw, which a lot of people will say, oh, that's a ball screw. Now the ball screw is designed to actually have bearings fit in these grooves, where these engage into, like you're familiar with, like a nut. So it grabs a hold of that, okay? So there is the kit. Let me move all this around so we can get a good shot of everything all together. This is what we have so far. I don't think this looks complicated at all to put together, so we'll get to doing that next. Maybe we'll take a look at the little book here. Oh yeah, so get around here. You see? This, make a frame, put our slide track on there, linear motion, put our table on, Z-axis, piece of cake. Okay, so we'll do that next video.